G'day all, welcome back to Dad vs Son, and we're going to have a go at Stalingrad 42, the full campaign. So anything's likely to happen. So I've set up the game, this wonderful game from GMT and Mark Simonich, and this is sort of what it looks like. I'll just bring the camera down a little bit. You can see it goes the full width of the table, all the way down to here. This is a 6x4 table. So we have the start of the front line here, and the Soviets are fortified line all the way to here. Then moving the camera down a bit, they have an unfortified line to here, and then fortified again all the way down to here, and then over to Rostov over there. These markers here are just to simply show me where the German reinforcements are coming in. The red markers up the top in A, B and C are showing me where the Soviet reinforcements come in, except for those marked with a C, who will come in via the Caspian Sea. And then down the bottom of the map, all the way along there, as you can see, these red markers. As with when I played the Caucasus, I've put out the red die, just showing me what victory points are where, to make life a bit easier. The Soviet North Caucasus, Trans-Caucasus reinforcements will come in once we cross this 40 line. So I've just put yellow markers the whole way along, so I can see it. So once the Germans reach that line or cross south of that line, then the Trans-Caucasus ones will come out one at a time. The North Caucasus volunteers for the Axis forces will come out one at a time again when Krasnodar and Stavropol have been taken. And we have the Blucher group again, which can start to cross over here once Taman has been taken. We start with 0 VPs. We have the automatic victory at +6 or -6 VPs. For the Germans, I've got the reinforcements down here, except I'm now missing a counter, the 66th Naval Infantry. I don't know where it's gone, so, but that's, I think if that's going to change anything, then we're in really buckets of trouble. This is the turn track, so as you can see, earthquake. As you can see, from turn 1 through to turn 16, it's all summer, so we don't have to worry about the weather. From 17 through to 20 is the early fall, early autumn. Then we go into the rainy, muddy season rather than just the rainy season, and then the last from 28 to 36 is where we have winter, and things start to get really bad for the Axis forces. We've got all the German counters down here, so for their rail replacements and so forth, supply. The two offensive prep markers that they've got, which will actually start on the map, which is good, and so forth. And they've got 2 aircraft. There are no aircraft for the Soviets whatsoever. So because we have the ±6 automatic victory, I've just put this red marker here to let me know this is the first time we've got to have 6 VPs. So if we have 0 VPs at that point, we've lost the game. Simple as that. Once we have 1 VP, then I can move it up here to 7 and so forth, just to give me an idea of what's going on and all the rest of it. What else have we got? The Soviets have 3 reserve armies that start on the board itself. And I'll just point them out to, sorry, there's 4 of them actually. We have one here, here, and here. And one down in Stalingrad. So this one, and this one, the 5th, 6th, and 7th reserve armies, I can start to release one of those armies at turns 2, then one at 3, and one at 4. But the 8th reserve army over here cannot be released until turn 15. What else have we got? As I said at the end of the Caucasus, or towards the end of the Caucasus campaign, I'd been doing the follow-on moves for full retreat wrong, so I intend to try and get that correct this time. So what are we trying to achieve here, really? From a Soviet point of view, basically like the Caucasus campaign, is to exchange room for time so that we can build forces. The Soviets are going to pick up around about 2 to 1 reinforcements. So even though the Germans have a quantitative or qualitative advantage to start with, they're going to really start feeling the pinch later on with the quantitative Russian forces. So we've really got 3 sectors we need to worry about for the Germans, for the Axis player. So if I just bring it out here, it might make it a little bit clearer. So what we have is we have these northern forces up here, which basically need to punch through the line, take out as many of these troops as they can, hopefully some of them via isolation and cutting them off rather than having to just kill them. And they need to try and push straight across over to Saratov and that sort of way. They need to look after this top sort of third of the map, because this is where most of the Soviet reinforcements are going to come in, along A, B, and C along the map there. So all the way up over to the Volga River. Their main line after their front line is going to have to be built over the River Don and try and hold that again to stop people getting over there. The southern part of the Axis forces need to punch through Rostov and give support to the centre forces, and also try and take out some of the Caucasus areas, try and take out Taman so that they can start getting Blucher across and that sort of thing. So they have an offensive, defensive mission. These guys basically have an offensive mission, and then the centre section around 6th Army needs to try and take out Stalingrad as such. And realistically, that's it. That's about all we can do. The Germans will have a maximum of 2 replacements each turn. The the Axis will have a maximum of 2 replacements. The Soviets will have up to 4 replacements, which again is going to make life difficult for the Axis player. We have 5 rail mounts for the Axis to start with. with 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 4 here, and did I miss one? I don't know. I think I did. 1, 2. Sorry, the other one's here under the remaining other. Get this right. The Italians. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. So that's about it, really. In the first turn, the Germans can only use tactical movement, so move 1 or 2 hexes, except for supply units, such as the one that's here on 4 Panzer Army. They can use extended movement and road movement and full movement and all that sort of stuff. But that's the only one currently there at the moment. And I think that's about it. So Russians, distance for time, and Axis, get VPs. Kill these blokes. Yeah, I find it very difficult to believe that they're going to get a sudden victory at any time, an automatic victory. There's just too much ground to cover in the long run. So we'll get started. I'll just bring this back up here and reposition the camera. And then we can get into the first turn. So what I'm going to do again, or what I'm going to do this campaign, is I will, when we get to movement, I will mark the units I want to move just with a block off camera, and then I'll come back and we can do the movement and so forth for both sides as is. When we get to combat, again, same thing. I'll sort out the blocks onto the units that I wish to combat with. And then I'll also pre-work out what the odds are, and I'll just put some die down for those as well. And then I'll try and get both the fight and the dice roll into camera so that you can see what the hell's going on. Right, so let's start. First, collect our air units, and I still have this habit of forgetting to use them, so let's just put them here, so hopefully I don't forget, because we don't, again, have to worry about weather, so I forgot about that. Remove train markers, we have none. Axis fortifications, we don't have any under construction. 2 resource points, so we're going to grab 2 supply. And I'm going to put 1 coming in up on Z, and I'm going to put t'other coming in on Y here for 6 Army. Excuse me. Okay. Spend SPs to flip, and we don't need to. Restore Axis units using reinforcements. We have no reinforcements on turn 1, so we have our replacements, and the Germans pick up, and it is the Germans, pick up 1 armour and 1 infantry for the first go. And what I'm going to do is, when I had a look at this before, I actually thought about doing these 2 units here, because we've got an armour and an infantry. Now I'm tossing up if maybe I want to do maybe this armour, or, and I'll need a special for that, or this armour over here. I don't think I can use armour on Grenadiers. Yes, I can. Panzer Grenadiers. So I could bring this whole lot up to strength, and that might actually be a better way of going. So I'm going to do it here. No, I'm not, because I need them to do something. We come down here. See, I'm talking myself in circles and getting nowhere. So, and I remembered to use the replacement markers. Ta-da! Flip Axis leaders, we don't have any, and we have our 2 offensive prep markers. Now I'm going to put one offensive prep marker on 4 Panzer Army, and the other one I'm going to put down here on 6 Panzer Army, like that. No, I'm going to put it on 1 Panzer Army, like that. Excuse me. Do I really want to do that? Yes, and I'll bring that supply down for 1 Panzer. There it is. So we're into the movement phase. So I'll pause it there, set it up where I want to move, and then we'll come on back and go through that process. Won't be long. Rightio, so I've marked them all. So the first one I'm going to move is this Romanian cavalry. So 1, 2, far as he can go. This little fella here is going to come up 1, 2. This little fella here is going to bring over to here. So we've got stacks of 2 units there. This bloke is going to come over 1, 2 onto our railhead. This panzer unit will go 1, 2 to here. This unit will come up 1 to there. And this supply unit will come up here, like that. This Jaeger unit will join itself. This mountain unit will come forward and join up. Security unit will just come forward too. This little fella will come forward 1, again gives us some stacks there. Make sure I haven't missed anyone. Okay. These guys here are just going to do a bit of a shuffle. So this guy here is going to shuffle to here. This guy here to here. This one to here. This one will stay there. He'll go to there. He's going to stay there. This guy will come forward. I'm going to bring 6th Army forward, just to 1. These 3 Panzer Grenadier units will go 1, 2 into here. And this is the Slovakian unit here. Is going to come forward 1, 2, along with the Panzer unit and support 6th Army there. Get rid of those. And this is just helping to build us up our combat strength. Okay, over here, 2nd Army is going to move forward to here for 2. This Hungarian is going to move to here. This one will move up 1. And this guy will come forward 1, 2 to there. And then we have this supply unit, which is going to come on to 2nd Army. So 1, 2, 3 there, like that. And that's all our movement done. So that's done. We go into the combat phase. So again, what I'm going to do is I'll pause it there, and then we'll go through the combat when I've worked out what we're going to do. Won't be long. Rightio. So we've got 3 attacks here. These yellow ones here, these white ones here, these yellow ones here with support here. We've got these ones here, and then we have one more down here. So I'm going to do this one first. So this is a 3-to-1 into a fortified position. Okay, get my chart up, 3-to-1, but we're using the offensive prep, so we get 2 die rather than 1. And we get a 4. And a 4 is an A1D1 Advanced 2. Okay, so the enemy here, the Soviets, lose 1. And the Axis lose 1. So that's good. Then they have to retreat 2 hexes and become disrupted, or do a determined defense. Now, that's one thing I forgot to say, in fact, was that in the first 7 turns, the only people that can do a determined defense are those that are in a fortified hex, are NKVD, or can have basically their defense doubled, so attacking across rivers and so forth like that. After that, then we get the Stalin order, not one step back, and then everybody who is eligible can have a go, and will have a go no matter what, sort of thing. Okay, so we have a determined defense here. We have no negative modifiers, so it's just a straight up roll. They're in a fortified area. They've got no support. And they roll a 4, which is a partial, which is basically a fail. Okay, let me just check that first. Righto, so it's classified as a delay. So he still has to go back 1 hex and become disrupted. So he's got to come back here, become disrupted. We can only do a 1 hex advance, and there's no breakthrough combat. So I'm going to advance this little fella here up into here, just to put pressure on him. And this guy will stay here, keeping our ZOC bond going. Righto. Then we'll move it up here. And I think we'll do the next southern one as well. So down here, it's a 5-1. We're not using any support for, we're using air for this one. That's all. So it's a 5-1. For a 4 is a D1 advance 3. So again, he loses 1 step. So let's put aircraft there. He's not going to want to lose that. He's not in a fortified hex, so he can't do a determined defense. D1, retreat 3 hexes and become disrupted. So he's going to take these 2 and go 1, 2, 3. So here, become disrupted. Get rid of the dies. We have our advance 3. So we have 11, 21. So we're going to push this guy over to here, and we're going to do a breakthrough combat there. So we've got 21-5 is a 4-1, plus the elite is 5-1, with the aircraft is a 6-1. Yeah, the 6-1 for a 3 is a D1 advance 3. So he loses 1. He has to retreat again, 3 hexes. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 to here. Becomes disrupted. In fact, sorry, we'll go 1, 2, 3 to there and become disrupted. We've advanced 1 so far, so we can advance 2 more. I think what we're going to do is we're going to push to here, like that. That gives us the Zoc bond here still. This bloke's still okay, because he can get supply back this way. And this guy here can, well, in fact, do I want to do that? Let's get this right. No, I'm going to push this guy over to here now, like that. And then I can push him. Oops. Sorry. I can push him one up that way, like that. And the aircraft is gone. Righto. Next one I want to do is this one up here, which is at a 6-1, and we're using 2nd Army for support. 6-1, 2nd Army. And we get a 5, which is a DS Advance 4. Okay, so a DS Advance 4. They're shattered, so they're going to go into full retreat and must retreat 4 hexes and cannot do a determined defense. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. In full retreat. Get rid of the dice. And we can advance 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to advance this lot to here for 1. And these ones here are all good heavy attacking ones. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. And they have 10, 26. And we have 7 there. So that would be a 3-1, 4-1. There, let's do it. 4-1. Oh, for a 2 is a DR2, advance 2. So defender must retreat 2 and become disrupted. He can't do a determined defense. So he's going to go 1, 2 to give him there. We've gone 3. We can only go 1 more. We're going to go onto the rail line there, like that. And he is disrupted. Righto. The next one I want to do is this one here, where we're using the air and we're using the offensive prep. It's a 3-1, so we'll get the 2 die, and we're using 4 Panzer in support. So 3-1, 2 die. And the reason I'm doing this one is to try and push through a little bit here to cut down on where this guy can run away to. And we have a 4, again, which is an A1D1 advance 2. Okay, so let's get rid of these. Get rid of this. Hold this back. Oops. So we have an A1. So we'll do that. I'll get rid of that offensive prep. And the other one. Okay, so he's going to try for, is he going to try for a determined defense? He's got no negatives, but he's got a 50% chance of losing somebody, so I don't think he wants to at the moment. But if I bring him back 1, 2, that gives us a Zoc bond, sort of. They can't really get up to him to do anything. So yes, 1, 2 to there, and he is disrupted. And then this guy will move to here. This guy will go 1, 2. And this guy will go 1, 2 to there. Again, helping to force this bloke back further. Okay, and then this is the last one at 6 to 1. Let's see if we can break this open. And we'll get a 2. A1, D1, advance 2. Okay, so let's have a look at our D1. And I think he'll just use this little fella here. He's happy with that. We don't want to lose tankies and stuff. So we'll just take our loss here on this infantry. Now again, does he want to do... He'd have a -1, so that's even worse for him. So I think he's just going to come back. But if he does, he's opened up that whole front. I think he's going to have to. He's going to try for a determined defense at a -1. It's a 1. Is a fail and a loss of 1. Okay. So again, he's got to go back 2. So he'll go back 1, 2 to there. And then we have our advance of 2. So these guys will go 1, 2. Sorry, I didn't put a disrupted on him. Like that. And these guys will come forward 1 here. Like that. We can't do another attack. So we have finished our combat. So recovery phase, we don't have any disrupted or full retreat units. We can get rid of our replacement markers. I'm not going to bother moving the camera. That's just off that infantry and armour unit, armoured division, down to the south near Rostov. So that's done. Move our railhead markers. So this one I'm going to move forward 1, 2. That one's not moving anywhere. This one can go forward 1. To there. That one I'm not moving either because it's just going to do nothing. Okay, so that's done. Supply status of German units. Again, we can just come straight back down. We're on a road. Everybody's good. Yep. And then no isolation attrition, so spend SPs to flip units. So we can spend this SP to flip 4 Panzer. And he's back to normal. And Second Army can flip. And he's back to normal. And down here, 1 Panzer Army can flip as well. And that's the Germans' first turn. So I think, what do we got? 34 minutes. Okay, I think we'll go through and do the Russians' first turn and go from there. So starting out for them, no air units, no train markers, they haven't built any fortifications, do their resource points. And I've just got to walk around to the other side, and we're going to give them 2 fortresses to build. And we're going to start it on our River Don. So we're going to start building one here, and we're going to start building one here. So we can start getting our Zoc bonds across the Don. Okay. Spend SPs to flip? No. Reinforcements for the Soviets, and they have 2 on the first turn. They have an infantry division and they have an armoured corps, and they're going to come up in A. Like that. Replacements, they have no replacements on the first turn. No leaders, no offensive markers, so we're into movement. So again, I'll pause it there, do the movement, allocate what I'm going to move, and then come back and have a look. Rightio, so we're just going to start down here to the south, and this fella here is going to move to here. This guy is going to move to here. This guy is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, using extended movement. This fellow will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Half 1, half 2, half 3, 3.5, and he is disrupted. And then this guy here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this little fella down here, coming up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we've done basically is starting our line down the other end of the Don. So if they get through Rostov, then they've got to come across there as well, or move further out and around. Okay, coming up towards this area now. And what I'm going to do is take these 2 units, and they're just going to go 1, 2, 3 into here with the NKVD, and give them a big shot in the arm to hold as well. These guys here, these are the weaker units down here, so we're just going to bring these down 1, 2, 3, 4 to here, using extended movement for the infantry, like that. These guys are disrupted, so I want to move them back so that they don't have to worry about anything there. In here, this cavalry is going to come forward, 1, 2, 3, and just helps to bolster there. Along with this guy is going to come forward. So we have a tank unit there, and then I'm going to join these 2 tank units up. Sorry, kicking again. Right, these guys are simply going to come back to straighten the line. So they're going to go 1, 2. Again, just trying to get things going. And here, whoopsie daisy, one of these is going to go 1, 2 over with this armoured unit here, and the other one is going to come back into there. I'll just leave that. Whoops. Like that. Now this mess here, let's start here. This disrupted unit will go back 1. These units will move back 1, 2. This can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to there, that's fair enough at the moment. This disruptor unit will go 1, 2 to there, just to try and keep something across here. These units will move. What have we got here? I wanted to move that. He's going to move anyway, and he's going to go half 1, half 2, half 3 to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He will be, that was extended movement for the infantry. That just brings, that just brings the support unit back to a safer area. This disrupted units here will come back 1, 2, 2, and these 2 units will come on. The armour unit will come on with this unit here, and this unit here is going to come on 1, 2 to bolster that. And that's it. That's their movement done. Combat-wise, no, they don't want to do any combat, I don't think. They don't have enough to do anything here. They'd be halved going over there. There's too much there. Again, too much. They just don't have the firepower. They could all try ganging up there, but again, that's 14 defense. So I don't think they want to do that. And there's really nothing down here that they can do either. So no, there's no combat for them. So recovery, so disrupted comes off. After all that hassle of putting them all on. This disrupted comes off. This full retreat becomes a disrupted. Disrupted comes off and off. And we're destroying things. I think he's reduced. If not, then stiff. Okay, that disrupted comes off. And that disrupted comes off. And down to the south and down to the south. And they didn't have any replacements or anything else, so that's all done. There's no railhead markers to move. Supply status of the Soviet units. You can go back and off there. These are all fine up to this road and then out. They're all fine. Yep. Everything's good. No isolation attrition, because I haven't been able to get enough units around behind here to isolate these guys off yet. And SPs to flip, and that's it. We don't have anything more. So we have finished turn 1. Not as good as I was hoping. I was hoping to push through a little bit more here, but it just didn't happen. But that's okay. So hopefully next time the Axis forces can come up and at least take here. Start to cut these units off take this unit out maybe, and maybe this unit as well. But they're starting to build up here. We need to build our forces so we can start taking these out, and again all the way down here as well. And that's why we did the prep with the replacements down here last time. So next turn the Germans pick up a special and infantry, and the Soviets will pick up a special. So yeah, that's it. We're done. So thanks very much. I'll put this up, see what you think, and maybe try and get a bit of feedback before I go into the next turn. So take care, be good, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now.